Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is Matt here from Chill TCG. Now today we're going to be taking a look at a super cool, kind of a more unique deck list that has recently popped up, during this this Battle Styles new format here. It's Spiritomb. Spiritomb used to be just an absolutely insane, archetype here, the one from Unbroken Bonds, before rotation, back like when Rebel Clash was out. Had a lot of different cards in its toolkit that made the deck really impressive. Nowadays, we actually are kind of back to that same sort of effect, and there's a few different new attributes into this deck that make it that much more viable. Now, with things like Urshifu and all these different damage-spreading decks here in the format, you wouldn't think that Spiritomb would be back and be as good as it is right now, but it actually just recently won the massive Limitless online tournament, which had like about 350 players in it, which is just absolutely ridiculous that a deck like this could win that big of a tournament. So we're going to be taking a look at the list. This is based off the list that won the tournament, of course. I believe it's the exact same 60. We're going to go over it real quick. Now, of course, if you guys don't know, Spiritomb is a great single prize attacker here. Has the ability Building Spite. Once during your turn, before you attack, of course, you can put one damage counter onto this Pokemon, and then the attack there just for one Dark Energy. Anguish Cry does 10 damage plus 30 more for each damage counter on this Pokemon, so we like to ping this thing a bunch of times, fill it up with damage counters until it's just about to get knocked out, and then we hit for big damage. Now, typically the most that this thing can hit is 160, right, because you can put 5 damage counters on this thing before it dies, and 30 times 5 is 150, plus 10 is 160. However, nowadays we have Cape of Toughness, which we can attach to Spiritomb, which gives it 50 more HP, which brings this thing up to a whopping 310 HP. Sorry, not 310 HP, 310 damage if you do get 10 damage counters onto the Spiritomb. You might be like, well, how are you going to do that? You can only do it once per turn. It might take a while to fill this thing up with damage counters. Don't worry, we have plenty of different ways to get that done. Another important component is going to be Jynx here. Once during your turn, you can move, before you attack, you may move one damage counter from one of your Pokemon to another one of your Pokemon. This one is from Unified Minds. This is going to be really good because we could have multiple Spiritombs down, actually, and just ping them both and then move one to the other. So technically every turn, you can move all of the damage counters, or at least, double the damage counters on a Spiritomb. So that's 2 technically per turn. Now on top of that, we actually have this the stadium that came out in Rebel Clash here, Spikemuth, which didn't really see a whole lot of play, although people did sort of anticipate that this would see play with Spiritomb at the time, but we just didn't have as many options as we do now. This card reads as a stadium, so whenever a player's active Pokemon moves from the bench, or moves to the bench during their turn, you put 2 damage counters onto that Pokemon. So this is really important, right? This is just another great way for us to put damage counters onto Spiritomb. And on top of that, we have a bunch of cards in our format right now, which make this deck list that much more consistent. Of course, for switching from the active to the bench to put more damage counters on, you're going to want to run a lot of switching cards. And recently, we just got Escape Rope back into the format, which is super good. It's a switch card, also kind of like a Fion built-in one. This card is very, very important because not only can we run 4 switches in the deck, we can run 4 Escape Ropes on top of that, and we can run 4 Scoop Up Nets, and then on top of that, we can run 3 Bird Keepers, so tons of different ways to switch in and out, not to mention the 4 Hiding Energies just for free retreat. This deck can definitely snowball, and you can get a lot of damage counters onto those Spiritombs very early on, and we can get 4 Tombs on our bench, just populate them with damage counters. We have Escape Rope to shuffle through our Spiritombs throughout the game, so a lot of different options here in a really impressive and a really interesting toolkit. Some other Pokemon in the deck. Spiritomb is going to be our only attacker. We have Jirachi as some of our draw support there. Also works with Scoop Up Net very well. Jynx, like I said, to move the damage counters. Marshadow, going to be very good since Spikemuth is very important. We can resetting Hole and discard that Chaotic Swell or Stadium, which might be in play for our opponent before we put down our Spikemuth Stadium. Going to be really good. And then a Mew just bench bury. We got to protect our bench, right? Those Urshifus, we don't want them taking 2 KOs on 2 Spiritombs, right? On their second turn, so Mew is going to be extraordinarily important, and definitely not a card that we would like to prize in this deck for sure. And then on top of that, we have some more draw support. We have a Crobat, we've got Dedenne, and then of course we have Oricorio. So plenty of drawing options in this deck. Gonna make this as consistent as possible. Kind of sketchy sometimes running some 2-prize Pokemon in your single prize archetype, but for the purpose of the deck being as consistent as possible, I think that it is, for the most part, pretty necessary. Another really good inclusion that came in this recent set Battle Styles was Level Ball. And Level Ball is pretty much just a free search for your Spiritombs, as well as really any of your single prize Pokemon in the deck. Jirachi, Jynx, Marshadow, Jynx, those are Mew. Those are all cards that can just be searched out with Level Ball for absolutely no cost. And on top of that, we do have 4 Quick Balls. So we have tons of switching options, tons of Pokemon search, tons of draw support in the deck. And on top of that, Bird Keeper does draw cards. We do have 3 Boss's Orders for Gusting, because Gusting is going to be important. We're hitting for 310, which is going to be, you know, pretty significant amount of damage. And then we have, of course, Magnolia, Professor's Research here to draw more cards. Yeah, Cape of Toughness to give us HP. Total of 8 energies in the deck. 4 of them are going to give us free retreat. This deck is pretty simple in nature, right? A lot of these cards do similar things, but you got to realize that it all comes together very, very well. And really kind of puts Spiritomb in the limelight. Now, I am still surprised that this deck won a massive tournament like this. It's definitely a viable single prize archetype right now. One of the best single prize attackers in the game, in my opinion. But overall, just a little bit incredible that did manage to win a tournament of that size. You are hitting for weakness on Dragapult, so that is important right now. Being a dark type in the format is very good, especially being a single prize archetype with Mew, Bench Barrier. It doesn't actually matter that Urshifu's hit you for weakness, that anything can hit you for weakness. In fact, actually, now that I mention it, we don't even have a weakness, because we're Spiritomb, and Spiritomb historically just doesn't have a weakness in the video game or in the card game, I guess. So here we go. This is Spiritomb, Spikemuth Spiritomb. I don't know. Is there like an actual name for the deck? Spiketomb, Spirit Mouth. I don't know. I have no idea. Okay. Anyway, guys, that's the deck list. I hope you guys enjoyed. Export will be down in the description below. We're gonna get into some games and see if this deck really is as good as some of us might think it is. So let's get right to it. All right, let's hop on the old fabled ladder here, the PTCGO ladder. I know everybody loves playing ladder matches right now. I don't know, honestly, like, it might be one of these things where Spiritomb is a better call for, like, a tournament, or at the time it was a good meta call. But honestly, I don't know how this deck is going to perform, to be 100% honest. We're playing Nuria CBT. I'm not sure. We're going to just click heads here. We lost the coin flip. I'm not even sure if this deck wants to go first or second. I kind of assume it wants to go first. But actually, maybe second. I honestly have no idea. We're going to probably just try both here. Starting with Oricorio, probably not the most ideal thing in the world, but we do have some stuff here to get rolling. It's just, it's going to be interesting. We might be playing a Luke Metal here. Actually, it's Corviknight. Unfortunately, we're not one-hit KOing Corviknight, so we just got to hope that they don't find their Cheryls when they want them. But at least we're, you know, safe from, you know, getting, you know, KO'd on the bench and things like that, right? Now, here's the thing. What do I want to Quick Ball for? I think I have to Quick Ball for a Jirachi. I want to keep my switching options, so I'm going to get rid of Boss. We're going to grab the old Jirachi here. Not that bad. I think playing Switch over Escape Rope is going to be important right now. What do we grab here off the Stellar Wish? We could grab Bird Keeper, Spikemuth. There's a lot of good stuff in here, but I think the most important thing for us is probably just going to be to grab this Quick Ball. Unfortunately, you know, grab the Quick Ball. I kind of want to keep Escape Rope around. We've already done one Switch, because we're going to be Quick Balling for something here, but what do we want to Quick Ball away is the question. I guess we could Quick Ball away Scoop Up Net. Maybe that is the best option, but then we don't really have a way to get out of Jirachi. We're kind of just hoping that he KOs it, which maybe is fine. No, we're going to get rid of Escape Rope. We're going to get rid of the Escape Rope. We're going to grab the Spiritomb. I'm assuming that my Jirachi is going to be safe for this turn. And we always got to remember to click Building Spite every turn. Now, I think that we're going to be okay just passing here. We don't have much in our hand, but I'm assuming Jirachi is going to live this turn so we can search for some more stuff. Maybe grab Spikemuth, get some damage counters spread out here. He's going to just attach to his Corviknight, which is totally fine with me. And he's going to research right off the bat. That would be nice if we drew into research here. We're already down quite, you know, 2 of our switching options, but we do have plenty in the deck here. We would like to get Spikemuth out as quickly as possible. And I don't know if this Corviknight really even runs stadium cards. They might. They might. He's going to go directly into the Corviknight VMAX here. Not great for us. We would like to get some damage off on this thing fairly early here. Our Jirachi is living this turn, which is always good. Let's see what we top deck. It's going to be another Jirachi. So let's go ahead, Stellar Wish. More switching options, which is interesting. I'm just going to grab the Switch. And I'm just going to, you know what I'm going to do? Well, first of all, we should probably Building Spite. I'm going to put down the second Jirachi, and I'm going to scoop up this this Jirachi here to just go into this one. The thing is, I don't think that it's really needed for us to... this is interesting. I guess we should grab Level Ball here. I'm just assuming Level Ball is going to be our best decision. What we can do is most likely just grabbing another Spiritomb. I don't think those other cards are going to be super needed for us right now. I think it's the bigger priority to just get as many total damage counters off on all of our Spiritombs as often as we possibly can. And now, excuse me, I'm actually going to bench this Jirachi, assuming that one of my Jirachis gets KO'd this turn. Now, we just hope that he doesn't have boss. If he just bosses and KOs our Spiritomb here, it's a little bit unfortunate. We're missing out on a couple damage counters here. It's definitely very possible. I'm almost assuming that he's probably just going to do that this turn. But if he KOs the Jirachi, you know, not that big of a deal either. But definitely kind of playing the slow game. You know, the problem is this is a deck that we don't really love to go ahead and you know, knock out in 2 hits, because they can always just heal that first hit, right? With no real setbacks with that Cheryl combo. So that's something that we got to keep in mind here. If he plays a supporter here, we're not too upset. Let's see if he has the boss. Would be pretty unfortunate here. He's actually going to Metal Transfer, so it looks like he's just going to GX this turn, which is very interesting. Maybe that is the better play, though. Maybe that is the better play. I don't know if it actually matters in the long run. I think we're just going to be two-shotting at most things on his, you know, on his board right here. He is playing the Research. That's good for us. He's going to not be KOing our Spiritombs. Although he's not KOing our Jirachi either, which is pretty interesting. He's going to put down a second Corviknight. And like I said, you know, we're in kind of a difficult position. I think the fact that he played down Luke Metal is kind of good for us, though, because now we have, you know, at least, you know, a 3-prize Pokemon with less HP, going to be a little bit easier to KO that guy. We draw into another Switch, which is interesting. There's the Cape of Toughness, so not a whole lot going on for us right now. We could switch into that other Jirachi, but honestly, I kind of want to save my switching options is the thing, but he could have boss, right? So that's something to keep in mind. We don't have Spikemuth in play, so I don't really want to just start burning my switching options. I got to assume he has like a boss in hand, though, which is pretty unfortunate. He's doing 50 to this guy, so he'd have to go into Corviknight. I mean, he can just do that pretty easily, but he needs a switch is the thing, so he needs one switch and a boss, so I'm just going to stay in with Jirachi. I think that that's probably the best play that we can be doing right now. I'm not 100% sure about that, but we'll see. We'll see. He's going to evolve his second Corviknight. Totally fine. Totally fine for sure. He's going to put down the Zamazenta. That actually doesn't really matter, but I mean, it's just more stuff for us to potentially, you know, get one-hit KOs on. Kind of a slower start for Spiritomb here. We're just hoping that he does not have the boss here. We see the switch, but does he have the boss's orders? That would be super unfortunate. No, he's actually just going to Intrepid Sword. He's leaving these Jirachis alive here. Probably is just digging for that boss. He's going to just wait, right? And I think that that's probably the best play he could be doing right now. We're going to go ahead and click Building Spite on both of our Spiritombs here. That Oricorio, man, starting off with that Oricorio is probably not super ideal here. We're going to go ahead, and I think that grabbing the Spikemuth here is probably the best decision for us, I would say, because we have a lot of switching options in our deck, right? So I'm going to scoop up the Jirachi. I'm going to go into this Spiritomb. We already building Spited and all that good stuff, which is totally fine. If we click Escape Rope, he's probably just going to go into another Cheryl, but I think that that's probably just the best decision for us to do anyway. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the sequencing here. I'm not sure that it actually matters. I do want to go into this Jirachi, but I want to burn all my switches, right? That is something I want to do here. But what I'm actually going to do, I'm just going to retreat. We got to keep in mind this guy doesn't have a toughness cape on it yet. So now I think it's safe for us to click Escape Rope, and we might actually just pile this one up too again. But he hasn't. The thing is, I don't want to attack a Corviknight because he probably has you know, he probably has the Cheryl maybe in hand. What we can do though is retreat out of this guy. See what he clicks. If he clicks something interesting, yeah, he's just gonna click the Corviknight. That's probably the best move. Now I kind of want to go into this Spiritomb, bring it up to 80. He gets 50, so he's doing 160 right now. And now what we can do is switch into our Jirachi. And I guess we're hoping for like a supporter or something, or a way to draw some cards here. If we switch into this Jirachi, we go up to 80 HP. Technically, we have 110, so we should be safe to do this. We already free retreated, I believe, so we got to keep that in mind. We're going to Stellar Wish here. We do find the Research, which is actually pretty cool. Actually pretty cool for sure. And now what I kind of want to do is, well, I guess we have to switch into this guy because we do not have the, what is it? We don't have the energy in hand right now. I don't know if I want to put down the second Jirachi either, although, yeah, we're not going to do it. We're going to discard that one Jirachi. That is our last Jirachi. A little bit unfortunate. However, we are going to be able to put an energy on him. And a few things that we could be doing right now, actually, to be 100% honest with you. I don't know if I want to Dedenne out this hand. I think we kind of just force his hand here, hope that he doesn't have Cheryl in hand. And I think that we just attack. Although what we can do is hope that he doesn't have Boss, right? So there's two different decisions. We can just attack the Corviknight here, hope he doesn't have Cheryl to heal all of his damage. Or we could switch into this Jirachi, go up to full 110 damage, right? And then just hope that he does not have the Boss in hand. I got to assume he's probably playing an equal amount of Boss and Cheryl in his deck. I just don't know what's the better decision, right? I think probably just I think we can afford it, right? So I'm actually just going to switch into Jirachi. This is probably not a good play. Getting the damage off on Corviknight is probably always going to be the better decision. But I kind of want to go ahead and get a one-hit KO onto that Luke Metal. We are just going to go ahead and switch into our Jirachi here, and we are going to pass. This is going to be a very risky turn. If he has Boss this turn, that's not good. But if he has Cheryl, that was a very good play. It's honestly kind of like a 50-50 throw-up. I kind of assumed that maybe it would have been better to just attack, but I think that it's a bigger gamble for us if we didn't attack there. Yeah, so he's got the Boss there. I don't know. He probably had Boss and Cheryl, to be 100% honest with you. But I'm not too worried overall. Like, I'm not too upset about it. He's taking one prize here. We still have a Spiritomb with 50 HP on it. What is he grabbing here? What is going on? He's playing the POW pad and shuffling those back into his deck there. Not great for us. We still need to find a way to, to put energy on. Except now what we are going to be able to do is pop our Oricorio. If we draw into some good stuff here, we definitely can get something rolling. There's the energy. Always good to see it. We're going to Dance of Tribute here. We probably should have waited to attach the energy to see if we, of course, drew the... Oh, we prized 2 Spiritombs. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's okay. Not the end of the world, I don't think. What's Ominous Posture? We're going to move damage counter over to the Spiritomb. So now we're doing 190 on the Spiritomb. Not too good. Nothing too crazy. I kind of wanted to Dedenne here, but the thing is we're already down 1 Boss, and then we only have 1 left in our deck. So, yeah, the fact that we prized 2 Spiritombs is terrible. That's like the worst possible thing that could have happened for us. But I'm actually just going to play Dedenne. I got to get aggressive here, and we just got to hope that we draw into a Boss's orders even off this guy here. We don't, unfortunately. We do not, unfortunately. What I can do, though, is Escape Rope. Yeah, we're going to Escape Rope into our Jirachi. We're going to put some more damage counters onto our Spiritomb. We're going to force him. He's probably going to click Corviknight. That's definitely his best decision here. We are now up to 80, so we're doing 240 plus 10, 250. We just need 1 extra damage counter to KO this Luke Metal here. But we also need to draw into a Boss's orders, right? Which isn't very good for us. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop Ordinary Rod. We're just going to put the Spiritomb back into the deck, and I don't think we need to do anything else other than that, to be 100% honest with you. Now what I kind of want to do is discard this Cape of Toughness, because keeping the Bird Keeper around is probably going to be the better decision, and the hiding energy for sure. So I'm going to go ahead, Quick Ball away Cape of Toughness. We're going to grab the Crobat. Again, our whole play here is to try to get, a nice KO. We can Building Spite, actually. I forgot about that. So now we're doing 280, I believe, which is definitely very good. However, the Luke Metal... So we need another damage counter to KO the Luke Metal because of the GX attack that he played, or used, rather. So we're going to go ahead and Crobat. This is a little bit unfortunate. We need like a Scoop Up Net. And we do get it, which is actually really good. We have 2, which is actually what we needed, I think. So we can go ahead, put the Jynx back down, which means we can move 1 over to our Spiritomb. Now he's fully loaded, and we did draw into the Boss, so everything is going pretty good for us, all things considered. I'm going to Stellar Wish before we get out of here. I think that just grabbing Escape Rope is probably our best option. Now what we can do is we can scoop up this Jirachi, go into our Spiritomb. Now I think what we have to do is put down this Jirachi right now, and now we can boss up the Luke Metal and get a nice 3 prize KO. Again, we would be in a much better position if we didn't prize both of, 2 of our Spiritombs. But maybe we take some off the prizes here. There's a Level Ball. There's a Bird Keeper. And, yeah, okay. So, we missed on all of our Spiritombs there, which is unfortunate. We still have 1 in our deck, so we can keep that in mind, I suppose. Yeah, not the best thing in the world. We're down to 11 cards in our deck. He still has Cheryl's in his deck as well, so... We definitely got to keep that in mind. We're ahead on prizes, but the thing is, we just don't have what we need right now to get things rolling. We also don't have Marnie in our deck, so we got to keep that in mind as well. We're gonna Dance of Tribute. We might not be able to do this next turn either. Looks like we just missed out on all of the Spiritombs. All game we've been missing the Spiritombs, but that's fine. We can attach the hiding to it now, I think. And now what I kind of want to do is, yeah, we're gonna have to click. The fact is that he has two Corviknights down, which is unfortunate for us. And we're down all of our bosses, right? So that is just probably the more unfortunate thing that could have happened to us. We're gonna Ominous Posture. We're going to move a damage counter to Spiritomb. We're going to go ahead and Building Spite. And now I think, we definitely want to put the Cape of Toughness on him. Now I think we can Bird Keeper into Jirachi. No more switching there, which is unfortunate. Do we even have another Scoop Up Net in our deck? No, we don't have any switching options left in our deck, which is not great for us, for sure. Yeah, just pretty unfortunate. Pretty unfortunate that we just kind of whiffed. And I'm sure he just has boss, which means that it's probably going to be the game here. I can Ordinary Rod, which I probably assume is going to be our best decision, for sure. We can grab the Spiritomb. We don't really want to put... I mean, we could have put the Jirachi back in the deck too, but we're just going to put these two back in there. Should be quite enough. And now we're just going to hope for him not to have the boss, which he definitely does. But yeah, Prizing Ball Spiritomb was very unfortunate. I mean, that was kind of the big reason why this game was a bit unwinnable, as well as the fact that, Corviknight Cheryl is probably one of the worst matchups, I think, for Spiritomb, just because of this deck likes to 2-hit KO 3-prize Pokemon. Unfortunately, we can't really do that against Corviknight, but it's fine. It's okay. We still have a chance, I suppose, which is good, always good. But a little bit unfortunate. He was actually going to take some damage counters when he switches, which is kind of good for us. Although we're all out of boss and escape ropes and everything like that, so maybe that's not great. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see for sure. There's still a chance here, except the thing is he has free retreat, so we're never going to be able to force him to go back into his other Corviknight. So I just don't think we ever win this matchup. We're going to go ahead and get rid of the Darkness Energy. We can grab our Spiritomb. We're going to do this, yeah, we're going to Building Spite here. I think we also prized a Cape of Toughness, yeah, because I think we have 4 in our deck, and when we do not currently, which is pretty unfortunate. We do not want Oricorio. We're going to run out of, we're going to run out of the, what is it? We're going to retreat and switch. We're going to run out of the cards in our deck. Okay, now we can go ahead and Bird Keeper back in. And that does draw all of our cards. And unfortunately, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and Anguish Cry. Doing 160, we would have gotten the 2-shot, but of course, it's Corviknight, and we don't really have that great of a chance against this deck for sure. Probably the worst matchup, to be 100% honest with you, for Spiritomb. But, also prizing 2 Spiritombs is a little bit unfortunate as well. Getting the 1-hit KO in the Luke Metal was kind of cool, though. We got to see a little bit of what Spiritomb is all about. I'll probably keep the game in here, though, just to kind of give you an idea. This is, in my opinion, I can't really think of a worse matchup for Spiritomb. 320 HP, so right outside of the 1-hit KO range, as well as damage reduction, Luke Metal on top of that. Yeah, and on top of that, this guy's just BMing. I have no cards in my deck, bro. Just end the game. Oh, he's gonna just boss me. That's fine. Yeah, and on top of that, the Cheryl, right? So kind of eliminating even the possibility for us to hit KO stuff for the most part. Yeah, we're gonna just go into Spiritomb. We have no cards in our deck, so we're just gonna end up losing the game here. Not that big of a deal. Not that big of a deal. We're gonna go ahead and just get into another one. But Spiritomb, it seems pretty good. I don't think Corviknight is actually that played too much in tournaments, at least. Bronzong Box is a little bit more played, but then in that case, there's more decks that we can kind of, more easily knock out, I guess, is the main situation there. I obviously probably didn't play that game perfectly either. But yeah, if I had to guess, I would say that's probably our worst matchup. Just happens to be like the first game that we hit on the ladder. We're playing Anon 40404. Very interesting username. But do we want to go first or second with this deck is the question. I don't know if we do, actually. It doesn't matter. We're going to click no this time, assuming that You know, maybe that'll make a difference. I don't know if it will or not. We're going to have to start with the good old Marshadow here. We're going second, so our hand isn't as bad as we typically think. He is starting with Dedenne, which is pretty good for us. We have a Dedenne in hand. He puts down the Chaotic Swell. Okay, well, we have Marshadow. And it looks like we're playing Mad Party, actually, which is a very interesting matchup for sure. Yeah, I mean, this is strange. We actually only need like 2 damage counters on any of our Spiritombs. So this is just going to be a battle of the one-prizers. And I don't know if going second matters. If we're able to one-hit KO this Dedenne, this on this second turn here, then things are much different, right? We're in a much different situation, but, you know, we'll see. He puts down the second Dedenne. He's going to go ahead and discard some cards from his hand. I don't think he knows what we're playing yet, but you know, discarding 2 Poltergeists probably isn't the best decision for him, as well as the 3 Dedennes you definitely want in the discard pile. He's going to get double Sinisty down. Totally cool with that. Totally cool with that. He attaches to the Sinisty. Okay, so we have a Mew, actually, so that's good. So what we can do, at least, is scoop up the Marshadow. Put this guy down. We're going to just resetting hole right out the gate. We have 2 switches in hand as well as a hiding energy, so that's not super ideal. And I think our best decision here, or our best option, is going to be to just go ahead and Dedenne away that hand here. A little bit tough here. Definitely a little bit tough. I don't know exactly what we want to do. We can just Psy Power and get a KO here, so maybe the best decision is just to attach to Mew. I would think. And I'm going to Crobat for 2. We don't find anything. We really want to grab a Spiritomb, I think. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop the Bird Keeper, draw some cards here. We find the Jirachi. This is just such an interesting game so far. We have so many Pokemon search. Why can't we find it at all? We are gonna be able to KO this thing though, which is pretty cool. He goes into it. Yeah, I think that's probably just his best decision here. Wow, okay. Sure. Sure. I don't know if burning all our switching options right now is probably the best decision, but I think it's really important that we find the I think it's really important for us to find the Spiritomb and get at least 1 damage counter onto it here. So we're digging, guys. We're going all in here. There's the quick ball finally. Probably going to be the best decision that we can grab here. I don't think Cape of Toughness is going to matter too much. Ordinary Rod definitely will, but we did not prize our Spiritombs this game, so that's very good for sure. We're going to go ahead and ping this thing. I think that I think we're going to have to just do that. I feel fine just going ahead and putting this on as well. And now we can scoop up the Jirachi, go into the Mew, and we can just Psy Power and just KO his Sinisty. Mew is actually pretty good in this matchup just for this one effect here. Now he gets 2 cards in his hand. He's down 2 Dedennes. We're down no boss, so potentially... Okay, so there's another Sinisty. And he's going to research away boss. He's down 2 Poltergeists, though, so not out of reach necessarily. There's the Oricorio as well. So went to a nice 9-card hand or an 8-card hand here. Does find the Poltergeist. I'm sure he has the energy as well. You know, I think that we're just going to be able to KO this with Spiritomb. We don't really have anything in our hand to get more things going, unfortunately. Maybe off this Jirachi we can find something. We should have plenty of draw supporters left in our deck here. He's going to go ahead and KO the Mew, which is fine. We just definitely realistically need to find something off of this Jirachi. What do we find here? Okay, so Oricorio is actually pretty cool. We can put down Spikemuth. I'm pretty fine with just doing that. And now what I'm going to do is, right off the bat, we're going to Building Spite. And I'm going to Oricorio before I Jirachi. I don't even know if that's the correct sequencing, but that's what we're going to do. Okay. Now, if I pull a switching option off of this, that could be really huge because we could get a KO on this Oricorio. And that is definitely going to be our #1 option, I think. So do we find a switch? No. Oh, no, but we don't, actually. So that's a little bit tough. I guess Bird Keeper probably is just the best option. We'll just KO the Poltergeist. Yeah, not ideal. Really, not too ideal. Spiritomb? Okay. Well, we have a way to draw into Spiritomb at least. Is Jynx going to be that important right now? It could be, actually. Let's KO our research. I don't think we really need 2 in our hand. We're going to grab another Spiritomb. We're going to go ahead and Building Spite onto it. Again, potentially next turn getting a KO on that Oricorio. because that's not something I feel like he's going to use Giovanni's Exile, right? He's not really going to Giovanni's Exile it. Now we are KOing this Poltegeist, feeling pretty good. Now he needs to evolve his Sinistea as well as attach an energy to it to get the KO there. There's the switch. We could have used that last turn, would have taken a nice 2 prizes, but next turn, I think that we're in a pretty good position to take 2 prizes either way. He just has the other Poltegeist, so this is his last Poltegeist here, and the Escape Rope, well, Skateboard, although that just goes back into his hand. Chaotic Swell, you know what, I don't think Spikemuth actually mattered too much in the matchup, but I don't know. It's kind of a strange matchup, right? Oh, he's got the Great Catcher, so there's going to be a nice 2-hit KO for him here, which is, it's okay for us, I suppose, because we're going to be 2-hit KOing him next turn, so perhaps that's fine, although, you know, I don't know. It's kind of like an iffy type thing here, right? I don't know. I mean, at least we have 2 Spiritombs down now, which is important. We're definitely going to be KOing that Oricorio next turn. So I'm feeling pretty good overall about the prize race, you know, the race for the prizes. I think that we're in a pretty decent position. But he's going to go down to 3. We're going to KO go down to 2, and then I think we have both Spiritombs to work with here. What is he playing now? He's playing Palpad, so he's going to shuffle these supporters back into his deck here. He could just go Boss game, but so could we, so I guess that's kind of the play, I guess. But he's going to go down to 3, so he can't go Boss like he just did. He's going to have to go Boss, and then another KO. Yeah, I don't know if I really want to burn that switch yet. Maybe it's better to go into Jirachi and to do that whole business. Is it, though? Is it? I'm not sure. I think I actually just want to go into Spiritomb. Yeah. Yeah, we're just going to go into the tomb here. There's a Spikemuth. We might as well just get rid of that Swell. I guess he's running 2 Swells in his deck, which is a little bit crazy. So now we're just doing enough. We're doing 100 damage off the Spiritomb, which is going to be enough for the Oricorio KO. We can click Building Spite on this Spiritomb as well. We're going to go ahead and attach to him. Now, what I kind of want to do is put down Jynx, but then that doesn't leave another spot for us to grab a Spiritomb. I mean, we're going to get KO'd next turn, though, either way. And we can Ordinary Rod that 1 back into our deck, or next turn, Ordinary Rod to put the Spiritomb back in our deck. So I'm pretty confident just putting a Jynx down. And we are just going to Ominous Posture and move one over to this guy here. We are doing enough, right? Yeah. We're definitely doing enough to KO. So we're going to KO his Oricorio. We're going to go ahead and Anguish Cry here, doing the 200, a nice 200. And now, depending on what these prizes are, like if we can get a Spikemuth down, I think we're in a pretty decent position. We could potentially still get a 1-hit KO on a Dedenne next turn, because we're doing 160. If we get 2 extra damage counters onto our Spiritomb, should be doable too. Like we just need to find a way to get boss. Are we down? How many boss are we down actually? Only down 1 boss. So we could grab it off the Jirachi, and then that would just be game, which could be pretty cool. But being ahead on a prize card right now is actually pretty important, I think. But if he bosses me this turn, KOs the Crobat, we're not in a great position, which he definitely can do, actually, and he might do that. Because he also has great catchers and bosses outs in his decks and stuff like that, so we'll see. We'll see. I guess the game really will come down to whether we have boss or not. Yep, so we're going to see a boss KO from him here. I think that's definitely the best play on his part. If he does that, he puts us in a position where we have to boss in order to win the game here. And he is going to do that, which is totally kind of, it's not great for us, I suppose. We don't have any extra draw support. We're down Oricorio, Dedenne, and Crobat. So really, at this point, we're just banking on getting it here with this Jirachi. We have some switching options, so we could potentially find it multiple times here. But we're going to Building Spite. And now what we need to do is move 1 damage counter over to this guy. So he's at 5 now. I'm going to put down this Jirachi. I'm going to Level Ball first. Just grab another Tomb just to thin the deck out. Although that probably wasn't the best option, but that's fine. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and Stellar Wish here. We find the boss, which is going to be the game, fortunately. So that was a fortunate game for us, right? That was pretty fortunate for sure. We're going to switch into Spiritomb. But, we had the double switch, so we had some outs to try to get that figured out. We'll give him the heart here, and that's going to be a pretty good game. from Spiritomb. I think overall that matchup is very even. I don't know if going second was actually beneficial for us. I don't know. I think in that matchup we might have wanted to go first. But Spiritomb is super interesting. It's very cool. You guys saw that 300 damage on the Luke Metal was actually really huge. So against tag teams, this deck might have a pretty distinct advantage. On top of that, I do think that Corviknight is very difficult to play. If you end up hitting a Bronzong, Corviknight, or a Cheryl deck in general, you're probably not going to have a great time. But I wouldn't worry. Those decks aren't too common. We just happen to hit one right off the bat in the video. But I think, honestly, it's a very good deck. I can't see how it won the tournament. I'm a little bit surprised, as opposed to just all the other great decks that are in the format right now. But this deck does have a lot of answers, and when it goes right, it definitely can go very, very right. So that's been Spiritomb Spikemuth, guys. Super, super cool. I've been Maddie from Chill TCG. Thank you so much for watching. Excuse me, sorry. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Maddie from Chill TCG. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you like the content, and don't forget to register for Chill Series number 25, which is coming up this Wednesday. We have 300 Battle Styles packs in the prize pool. The tournament is 100% free to play. Link to register will be down below, but on top of all that, the Filthy Goat on Twitter, @TheFilthyGoat, go check him out, is donating in 2011 Tropical Beach to our prize pool. This card is extremely valuable and can absolutely make or break someone's PTCGO account, so you're not going to want to miss it. That beach is going to go to first place. All the info will be on the tournament page. Link to register will be down below. Deck list down below. Don't forget to like and click subscribe, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Maddie from Chill TCG. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and have a good night.